All right, today we're going to be talking about MW3 and the beta. I have played quite a bit. I am maxed out on my level and I've used pretty much all of the weapons. So this is going to be my thoughts on everything. Everything from the maps to the guns to the movement, everything. And I am going to give a little bit of a spoiler. It is better than MW2. Way better. I am definitely happy with this game. There's just a couple things I'm kind of like iffy on, and we're gonna cover those, and I'm gonna give my honest thoughts on this beta and whether you should look at getting it, or if you maybe just want to play Warzone and you don't want to actually buy this game because it does have quite a price on it. So let's go ahead, we'll get in, we'll look at some gameplay and give you my thoughts. First thing I want to cover, which is a huge thing and I'm really happy for, is movement is back. You are able to slide cancel, you're able to move around. Mantling is actually way smoother. Like, I was slide canceling into a mantle and everything was just very fluid. There's no clunkiness like you have in MW2 where like you're sliding and you have to wait for your weapon and stuff like that. No, this is, as you're sliding, there's actually a stance. It's called attack stance. So without having anything equipped perk-wise, you will be able to slide and ADS while sliding. And then what it will do is it will actually cock your weapon to the side, so you'll be able to aim and shoot while sliding. Although it's not like an ADS, like if you're just aiming down sight from standing or crouched or anything like that. It's a different one, and that's the attack stance, which I think is nice. It gives you a little bit of a fluid movement to where you're not having any clunkiness where you have to wait to be able to ADS, you have to wait to fire, stuff like that. No, you don't have that. You're able to just fluidly move, and I really like it. It does seem a little faster, and realistically I think that's more along the lines of COD games. MW2 was very slow, and not just the gameplay, but the movement, everything just felt almost boring. Whereas in MW2, you have people holding lanes, people camping, stuff like that, because you don't have the ability to move, and you're wanting people to come into you because you have more of a chance of killing them because the movement was so bad. So you had a lot more camping and people just holding angles, holding rooftops, stuff like that. And there wasn't much you could do to counter that. All right, since we started talking about movement right away, let's talk about the equipment and basically your perks. I really like how they did the perks this time. It's more as equipment. For instance, you have gloves, which each different pair of gloves is going to give you different things that you'll be able to do, such as a quick grip gloves is going to give you increased weapon swap speed. I think this would have been really nice to have in DMZ, because think about it, you're going around, you're looting, you find, I don't know, commando gloves or whatever, you find scavenger gloves. People would have different equipment for their different operators, which would have been great for DMZ, but we're not necessarily getting these updates for DMZ. I think that would have been awesome. I am happy with the multiplayer maps. They're bringing back all of the old maps and the old maps with the old glitches and spots that you can get to. So if you remember those spots from the old days, then go ahead and use those. I remembered one from High Rise, as you can see here. Didn't really get to use it, but yeah, if you can remember those spots, definitely go ahead and use those. I really enjoy the maps. I think they're way better than MW2. So realistically, we're looking at this game is just better than MW2. I know there's some people that don't agree with that, but I think they're going to be the minority. The people that didn't have movement in MW1, so they're, you know, they complained and got no movement in MW2, and now here we are back with what the majority of people want in a game, which is this style of gameplay. One thing I will say about the guns, I really like the feel of the guns. Going from MW2 to MW3, you're looking at more consistent recoil patterns and more consistent recoil in general. I mean, I went from MW2 playing DMZ and swapped right over to MW3, and I was so used to MW2 with the recoil trying to control it that I overcorrected when I was playing multiplayer, and I was missing shots because of it. It is definitely way more manageable for the weapons with recoil on MW3. And when you're playing MW2, if you go into the gun range and use a weapon, same weapon, do 2 different recoil patterns, you're going to see that there's different recoil patterns each time. All right, so I'm just going to show you. I did those 3 patterns. Same thing here. I am not controlling the recoil at all. So we're just seeing how many different patterns we get. You can see these are all the same weapon. I just sat here, was using it. You can see how they're all different here. This is crazy to me. Like, here's another one. Like, you can see how different it is between each one. So it's very hard to learn how to control this recoil when the pattern is just always different. The one complaint I will say with MW3 and their weapons, the damage doesn't feel consistent. And there will be times, and it could just be the damage range. I don't know the damage range on weapons and stuff like that, but I'll be hitting high damage areas, headshots, neck shots, stuff like that. And then I'll watch, when I get killed, I'll watch the kill cam, and I'm like, how are they winning when they're shooting me, you know, lower body, legs, stuff like that? And it's happened a couple of times where I'm like, I don't think I should have lost that fight. And so that's my one complaint with the weapons. But other than that, like, the recoil's awesome. The feel of the weapons I really like way more than MW2 weapons, where their recoil pattern is just all over the place for the same exact weapon. I will also mention that if you're playing the beta, it's about to be done. You got probably about 24 hours left on it. Watch out for people that are using hacked, like in the wall hacks, because I've encountered them a couple of times where they're inside buildings or inside the map in some way. So there are people that are glitching out into the map, and that is definitely a problem. Hopefully they fix that issue before the game launches. We did get to see a little bit of the new map for Warzone and for zombies, and I really like it. Gives me some Verdansk vibes. Seems to be really, really big, and I don't know if it's bigger than the other maps that we've had, but it definitely feels big. It feels like you're going back to Verdansk. We know that we're not going to get Verdansk back because that's going to Warzone Mobile, but maybe this is going to be the closest thing. Who knows? We have to wait until we see the actual full map for Warzone when that comes out. And of course, zombie mode, which we will be covering on this channel. I have a couple ideas for zombies, and I know there's going to be some missions and stuff like that. So we're going to have to see how the zombie mode goes. I'm sure that we can do playing with viewers for that also. And if you want to stop by Fridays, I'm still doing playing with viewers for DMZ, at least until this new game comes out, and then we'll have to see the direction of the channel from there. Since this video is getting really, really long, I'm gonna kind of cut it down here. I do want to talk about the new game mode, which is Cutthroat. I did get to play that. It is 3v3v3. In this game mode, it's kind of like having an extended gulag, where you're fighting the other teams, trying to eliminate them, and if you don't eliminate them, there's a flag at a set location that you can capture if you need to. But it was a lot of fun getting in there, playing with some other teams, and I could see you and a couple of friends playing this game and having a blast with it. When you get knocked down, you can get picked up, but it's pretty much just an elimination game mode, and first to 3 wins the game, and it was a lot of fun. My opinion on this game, it is definitely better than MW2. I like that everything feels way more smooth. Your movement isn't so clunky. your guns feel nice. They actually have a consistent recoil, so you can learn the recoil patterns, which is going to diversify builds and make it to where people are running different things. I'm excited to see the zombies when that comes out, and I'm also thinking about playing some more Warzone. I'm not sure what's going to happen with DMZ. Nobody is. I'm hoping that they have more word for that as we get closer to this game coming out. I will say this also, November 10th, when this game comes out, I am going to be raffling off an Xbox Elite Series 2, my fingers were covering it, there you go, Elite Series 2 controller. So if you're on Xbox or PC, this will be a great controller to get, especially for MW3. This is brand new, still in the box, and I'm going to raffle it off and send it to you, and that is going to be November 10th when the game comes out. So definitely tune into the channel for that stream to get your chance to win an Xbox Elite and other stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of the content that I'm coming out with MW3 and DMZ.